Yeah. Triple B right here, right now here for you. Now, I was about to turn in the videos for the night, but this big news allegedly. You know, the big news in boxing is all about contracts and trainers and whatever teams that you hardly ever get a fight these days. But Anthony Gay J Joshua has brought in Robert Garcia. Is it Roberto Garcia or Robert Garcia? No, it's Robert Garcia, an American boxer. Obviously, he's of Mexican origin. And he's brought this guy in as his trainer. So obviously, Angel Fernandez, you know, his butty bit on the side is not doing a good job. He's going to get exposed to a lot on that fella. Yeah. But Robert Garcia, yeah, so he's a very respected guy. Yeah. So he's a good amateur. Yeah. He boxed Oscar De La Hoya in the amateurs. His pro career, he became IBF super featherweight champion. Yeah. Beating Harold Warren. Now, you know, you've got to say, you know, this guy has got a good, what is called a good roster, a former roster. Notable boxers trained, if you look, right? Okay. I'm just going to go through it, right? Because there's a point at the end of this. Chris Algieri, yeah, the slightly fruity former lightweight, welterweight champion. Let's see what other world champions he's got. Or did have Mikey Garcia, the original bum, Mikey Garcia. He's a weird guy, man. He looks like one of those. He's got this weird hairline, Mikey Garcia. You know, you get them people that they're called human werewolves. Yeah, they're really hairy. They've got big hair on their face and you know, on their forehead. Mikey Garcia reminds me of that. You know, he's got a very hairy forehead. But obviously, he's won a few championships, right? So that's something. Alfonso Gomez, you know, a contender guy. I think he beat Arturo Gatti. Evgeny Gradovic, Juan Guzman. This guy I can't pronounce. Egidius Kavailauskas. Yeah, I think he fought for the championship, didn't win it. Steve Livano, Marcos Maidana, Antonio Margarito. Now that's a bit dodgy, right? He also trained Margarito's brother-in-law. Okay, now Margarito, obviously, I can't remember if Garcia was in the corner with the hand wrap situation, but it's rumored that for years Margarito had been doctoring his hand wraps and he was actually busted for it. Victor Ortiz, Kelly Pavlik. I like Kelly Pavlik, man. Kelly Pavlik, you know, liked to get his drink on. That was a bit of a problem, but he was an exciting guy, a puncher. Yeah, Brandon Rios, Marco Antonio Rubio, super middleweight champion, the WBF. He's a weird guy as well. He's got this skin disease, yeah, where he's like totally white in some places and brown in other places. I remember Steve Bunce making fun of him. Yeah, did I say Brandon Rios? Mia St. John. Mia St. John, you remember that former Playboy, allegedly, yeah? WBC light middleweight champ. She was just terrible. But then it's women's boxing, yo. Fernando Vargas. Yeah, man, I like Vargas. Yeah, he had a little blonde streak in his hair. Brian Viloria, light flyweight. So there's a few others as well, that contenders and whatnot. So he hasn't trained any heavyweights ever, except a journeyman called Manuel Quezada. Yeah, some Mexican heavyweight. He didn't do nothing. He was a journeyman. So apart from that, super middleweight is the highest level, and he trained most of his champions at the lighter weight divisions, and he was featherweight, as I said, anyway. So now you might say, well, it doesn't matter, man. Boxing is boxing. No. There's boxing, yeah, and then there's heavyweight boxing. Heavyweight boxing is a different game, a very different game. Firstly, there's no weight restrictions, yeah, so you don't have to worry about the weight making. You can build a guy up, get all muscly on his PEDs like a Gay J, but you know, Gay J got that expertise anyway, and he paid for it. Yeah, and he gets dumped on in Dubai. That's another story. Yeah, he gets paid for it. Now, so you know what I'm saying. Heavyweight is different because simply, obviously, they're not as coordinated and powerful. Like even Tyson Fury, yeah, who's extremely coordinated for a massive guy, does not have the same movement, yeah, the same speed as the lower ranked guys, the same punch output. You know, Ali's probably the slickest heavyweight, you know. But he's, you know what, he boxed at around 15 stone now. The heavyweight game's different now, you know. Joe Louis, he's around under 14 stone for most of his defenses, I think. It's a different game now with the heavyweights. It is about power. There are very few that can really move ever, ever in the heavyweights, even when they were much smaller, let alone Gay J, who's just a big, brutal, behemoth bodybuilder. Yeah, the triple B, the brutal behemoth bodybuilder. But, Garcia hasn't really got the experience in the heavyweights. In fact, he hasn't got the experience. As I said, about the middleweight limit. Most of his fighters are lower weights, like flyweights, light flyweights, featherweights, bantams. He had Margarito, which was dodgy, obviously. Yeah, and then he had a Kelly Pavlik middle. Yeah, and after that, he hasn't got anyone. He's had that kid Zara. He's a whack journeyman. He doesn't know how to train heavyweights, man. They're a different breed. They have a less of a punch output. They have to rely more on power, and they have to be able to take a shot, which is KJ's problem. I mean, that's not to say there's not been successful heavyweights who are a bit chinny, like Vladimir Klitschko is probably the best known. I mean, if you were trying to get KJ to box most successfully, you probably want to get him to box like Vladimir, because he's a similar physique. He's got power. He's not as technical, but he should do that clutch and grab thing. That's not a very exciting boxing style, but it's effective. I can't remember who actually trained Klitschko, but I know he had Emmanuel Stewart for a bit as well. So, but he can't. Emmanuel Stewart ain't alive anymore, so he can't do that. And talk about the Kronk style. Well, there's not only one style in the Kronk. There was a few different kind of styles at the Kronk. Yeah, they were tough, but they had hardcore training sessions. But there isn't one star, whatever they tell you. Yeah, and that Sugar Hill man, well, he's obviously Tyson Fury's trainer, so he's not gonna train Gay J, is he? Well, he does train one of Gay J's fighters, I think Whitaker. So the question is Robert Garcia gonna make any difference to Gay J? Well, no, in my opinion. Yeah. So the fight against Usyk, the rematch against Usyk, who absolutely outclassed him. Usyk is one of the very few heavyweights who is very skillful. Yeah, but he's not huge, right? But he's bigger than Ali was. He's bigger than actually Foreman was in his first career, amazingly, right? But Gay J, so so what, 30th of May we're at, yeah? And he's got basically just over 6 weeks. What is it, like a month and 23rd of July, so more than that. He's got over a month and a half now to train with this new guy, how to beat Usyk, who is extremely experienced, extremely talented. Yeah? And this guy Garcia is used to training, these lightweight guys. It won't make any difference. People that believe in fixed fights and stuff think there might be some fix on. I don't know. There's always a possibility. I don't think there are as many fixed fights as people say. But, and would this fight even happen, man? I mean, and switching trainer, like 1.5 months before the fight, and the fight hasn't even been announced officially. Yeah? They gave a date, but then give a stadium. Nothing's been signed properly. It's nonsense. It's more Eddie Hearn's nonsense. So, my belief here is that, number one, Gay J will not fight Usyk on the 23rd of July. It's not enough time. And I don't think it's going to happen. I said this many times. Secondly, will Garcia make any difference? No, of course he won't. No, come on, man. You can't fix the bodybuilder. Right? What's he going to teach him? What, he's going to become a slick boxer and fight like Brian Viloria? Come on, man. Forget about it. It's nonsense. I mean, Gay J is grasping at straws. And as I said, I don't think the fight will even happen. Anyway, that's enough about that. Yeah? We'll see what happens. But it's more just nonsense. Just buzz in the boxing world and boxing news.